Chico, I'm going to do a video in a minute. Do you want to be in it? I'm going to do a book haul thing for Christmas. Do you want to be in the video? Chico, do you want to be in the video? What does that mean? Hello, and welcome back to my channel. This is still a Christmas video, a Christmas period. So on the other side of this camera, there's tons of Christmas decorations, and the trees over there. It's still Christmas. It's Boxing Day, in fact, and things have settled down. We've had our big family get together. It's a big thing for us, Boxing Day, and we're back home, settled in. And I really wanted to do a book haul video of what I got for Christmas, because it's fantastic what I've got, and a couple of other bits as well, which I was going to add to what I got, and also mention something very special that happened this year. So it's really nice that I can approach this video knowing that some people are going to watch it, some people are going to watch it for a start, but also that some people that I know that are going to watch it, some other booktubers that I know are going to watch it, and it's just really nice. This time last year, if I'd done a video like this, I would have felt like I could have been just whistling in the wind sort of thing. So, you know, this channel has really become much more meaningful through the contact, through people that have commented and people that watch them, and the other booktubers, all that sort of stuff. So, you know, that's something to be really grateful for. So I wanted to say that before I get going anyway. I don't really want to do many edits in this, and I still have a cough, so excuse me for a second. I'm very sorry. Thank you. Okay, so books first, and I'm going to tell you a little couple of nuggets, extra special things this year. So I want to go through these books. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and a box set. 15 books and a book box set, a very special thing. So that's what I'm looking at for a minute. So let's go through them. So Ian Banks' Transition. I got this. I don't know much about this. I think I put it on my wish list, but I don't remember doing that. But apparently that's where they got it from. Yeah, if you've read Ian Banks' Transition, tell me what you thought. It sounds really cool. I'm going to just read the back, actually. It begins on a train, the highest train in the world, between China and Tibet. It begins with a man in a cheap brown business suit walking from one swaying carriage to another, his gait a little unsteady as he holds a small oxygen cylinder in one hand and an automatic handgun in the other. He steps onto the sliding metal plates that separate the carriages, the corrugated collar linking the passenger cars flexing and wheezing around him like a gigantic version of the ribbed tube connecting the oxygen cylinder and the transparent mask around his nose and mouth. Inside the mask, he finds himself smiling nervously. Oh, Transition. I've still got Wasp Factory to read. When I've read Wasp Factory and read this, then start reading the Culture series, the Ian M. Banks stuff I've got, I can really get a sense of what I think of him. So that's going to happen this year anyway. So I've also, my son got me all of the Richard Osmond books. So he's written 3 so far. They're very successful murder mystery books, and they're apparently very witty. Richard Osmond's very witty himself, so I'm not surprised. This is the first one. This is the second one, and this is the new one. So that's a nice present. Got that to read. This is a fantasy collection, an anthology, which features some really big names, but it's also got some Chinese stories in it as well. So it's got Robert E. Howard, H.P. Lovecraft, H.G. Wells, William Morris, Arthur Machen, and George MacDonald, but there's also a few other bits here that are more Chinese fairy tale kind of origin. Sounds really cool. So that was really nice. That was from my mate Sam. So fantasy collection. This was a really nice present. The Ninth House. This has been all over BookTube, but one reason why it's a really nice present is that this was a present from my daughter, and she bought it so that we could buddy read it, so we could read it together, which is really cool. So one of my challenges for this year is connected to my daughter, which I'm going to announce later on in the year. Yeah, she's a big reader, and it's quite nice that we're going to buddy read this together. So have you read Ninth House? It's a huge hit, so I'm sure lots of you have, or some of you have, and apparently it's really good. So Ninth House, got that one. I also got TV trivia quiz and kind of fact book, so which is quite a little bit fun, kind of like a you know, sort of bits and bobs kind of book. You know, it's not a major read, but a little bit of fun. That was a nice little present. This is a big one. So Adam Roberts' Better. So I've been dying to read this. Now I've got it. I'm very excited to read it. This is about animals being able to, well, I think there might be artificial intelligent animals, I think, possibly. But there's a mix anyway between AI having rights and animals having rights. It's a lot of the thread of the book is about animal rights and then being able to articulate what it means to them when they get abused or killed by us and that kind of stuff. So it does sound fantastic, and shout out to Mike from Fit to Be Read, who really encouraged me to get into Adam Roberts more, and this was a big one for him. So I've got this now, which is cool. So Better by Adam Roberts. As you may know, because I have announced it, I'm doing a big Ray Bradbury deep dive, and I did ask for some Ray Bradbury holes to fill for Christmas, and I have 3 of those holes to fill, which is cool. So there are 3 relatively recent Ray Bradbury ones in the latter half of his career. So Farewell Summer, got that one, and Now and Forever, and We'll Always Have Paris. So those 3 are really nice additions to my Ray Bradbury collection. So very excited about that, because that is going to really help in me being as complete as I can in my deep dive into Ray Bradbury, which should last more than a year. It should go into at least a year and a half, 2 years, hopefully. That's how I want to take it. I want to take it very seriously and read as much as I can, and I'm not going to rush as well. So that the Ray Bradbury thing I'm really looking forward to doing. I've also got these 2 books. This is awesome. So I've heard about this book loads, and I think the first time I heard about it was thanks to Ollie from Criminolly. So and he raved about this author a lot. So shout out to Ollie. Razorblade Tears by S.A. Cosby. So this just sounds fantastic. I can't wait to read this. So Ollie definitely recommended this, and now I have it. So I can't wait to read this. There are a few other people that have read this and raved about it. I think Pax might have done, from Pax Panic. Rachel from Shades of Orange, I think, did. And maybe Chris as well, from Unlimited Reads. I think he might have done that as well. I'm not sure. But anyway, Razorblade Tears just sounds awesome. So this is, well, I don't know. I'll read it out because it'll be better than me trying to articulate what I've heard about it. Ike Randolph left jail 15 years ago, but a black man with cops at the door knows to be afraid. He's devastated to learn that his son, Isaiah, who Ike never fully accepted, has been murdered, along with Isaiah's white husband, Derek. Derek's father, Buddy Lee, who has his own criminal past, may have been ashamed of Derek, but he won't rest until he knows why his only child was killed. Desperate to do better for their sons in death than they ever did in their life, 2 hardened ex-cons must confront their own prejudices about their children and each other as they rain down vengeance upon those who hurt their boys. Sounds so cool. So many threads. A provocative revenge thriller and an achingly tender story of redemption. This is a ferocious portrait of grief for those loved and lost, and for mistakes that can never be truly undone. Razorblade Tears. I now have this to read. Cannot wait. So there's that. This is another one that I heard a lot about. I think this was probably mostly Rachel from Shades of Orange, but I'm not sure. Could have been a few others. Maybe Mike from Fit to Be Read, actually. Dead Silence, S.A. Barnes. S.A. Barnes, Dead Silence. This is apparently like a terrifying sci-fi horror. So this is apparently really creepy, very atmospheric, and a must read. So I'm going to get into that as well. So I've got that for Christmas. Very awesome. And I also got these 2 books, which I put on my list because I'm doing this, again, another deep dive, but this time into fairy tales. and fables and folklore. And this is a really, really interesting thing that I found. I put on the list and then I got them, and I was so pleased to get them. So there's this one, a beautiful book, which is called Chinese Fairy Tales and Fantasies. And it is really nice. It's a really nice book. It feels really nice. It's got lovely illustrations. And it's just everything about this book is really cool. So can't wait to read it. It feels really cool. But yeah, these tales from China are richly underscored by an ancient philosophical battle. The Taoist challenge to the hierarchical rigidity of the Confucian order, which gives the stories an edge and a power uniquely their own, an enthralling collection. That's Chinese folktales, and the other folktales one is Norwegian folktales. So I haven't actually put up the announcement video yet. I've done it, and it's been scheduled to go up. But when you do see it go up, you can see that I'm travelling around the world a little bit with this fairy tale dive, and these two, the Chinese and the Norwegian folktales, sit nicely alongside the others. So again, I want that project to take quite a while, but it's nice to got these Norwegian folktales and Chinese fairy tales and fantasies to go with that. So that's a big bulk of books there, which is really cool. But I also had this lovely box set that I put on my wish list, not really thinking I'd get it, but I thought, oh, I'll put it up at there because I'd really love to have it. And I'm so chuffed. This is really special. This is a box set of Ursula K Gwynn's books, right? The Hainish Cycle. And if you have a look at the side, it has got Rackanon's World, Planet of Exile, City of Illusions, Left Hand of Darkness, The Dispossessed, The Word for World is Forest, 5 Ways to Forgiveness, The Telling, and another collection of stories. So I do have some of these already, but not as beautiful as these. And you can see this is the Library of America editions. I haven't opened it yet. I will open it, but I thought it'd be nice to keep it sealed while I do this video. It's got this lovely brand new sheen, and I'm going to ruin it by opening it. But what a lovely collection there, Ursula K Gwynn. She's so brilliant, and I'm so pleased to have this. So that will go probably in place on my shelf soon. And before I get on to the last comment about something that's going to affect the channel, 2 other things that I've had, I'm just going to mention them because they're so cool that I've got them. I had loads of lovely presents, loads of t-shirts, and I had CDs and other bits of clothing and lots of really nice gifts. But I had this, which is a canvas of one of the most amazing photos that was taken this year of me and my son playing. So that was really cool. I love that picture so much. He was doing a phenomenal solo at the time. So that was really nice. So that I might take that to work, I'm not sure. The other thing that isn't book related, but I thought I'd mention it because you guys, if you've seen my channel a fair bit, you'll know that I'm a big Muppet fan. And all right, boys. Yeah, wrestling for power on the settee. You all right there, Ralph? So a big Muppet fan. The Muppets have got their own little shrine up halfway up the stairs, which I'll show you now. This is the shrine.
We picked up a weirdo.
And that's now going to be added to by the last piece of the jigsaw. So that shrine is full of the Jim Shaw figurines, and now I have Animal. So again, I haven't opened this box yet. So when I open the box, I will fit it in that gap. Well, there isn't really much of a gap because there's so many of them, but I've got all of them now. Now I've got this Animal one, so that's quite nice. So I've got those figurines that form my little shrine to Jim Henson. So that's the other thing. And then one thing I was going to say, which is a big thing for the channel, hopefully, this should change things. I'm aware that I'm using the internal microphone for the iPad, and I know I can do better. And I did ask if there was any room for anyone that hasn't got something yet, and blah, 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 put it on the list, a microphone for the iPad for my YouTube videos. So, again, I haven't opened this yet. This is going to be possibly the last video I do using the internal microphone. We'll see how it goes. It's not going to be the last one you see, because I've actually got video. Believe it or not, I've got videos scheduled up till 2025. And that's because of the 100 album challenge. I've already filmed them all. But I've also got ordinary videos, normal length videos, actually scheduled up until March next year. Possibly going into April now, actually. I'll keep moving things around. So you're going to see this internal microphone kind of style for a while. But I do want to try this soon live. And I'll also be using this from now on, hopefully. So I've got this new microphone for the channel. Have you got this one? Is this the sort of thing you're recommending? I did do a video earlier in the year asking what people would recommend. And this was it seemed to be a good shout. So there we go. It's a lovely little Christmas haul. And I've got loads to read from that. Some fantastic stuff. And I've got the big microphone to possibly change what I'm doing on here. So I hope you guys had a lovely Christmas. Let me know in the comments what you got and what you're hoping to get, maybe, because you might have got some book tokens. I've got book tokens as well. You might have got book tokens and what you might get with them. I don't know what I'm going to get with my book tokens yet. But, oh, there is one other thing, actually. There is one other thing, and that's this book. This was a really beautiful figurine that was made for me, and you got this sort of, you know, the music reference there, which is nice, and I think there's some, yeah, you got other magic there, so it's like books, songs, other magic, and this is just a really cool figurine. And then you got Robert Sheckley, Charles Adams, Charles Bukowski and Ray Bradbury, four quite different authors, written on the side there on the chair, which is so lovely. It's brilliant, isn't it? So that was really cool. So that was from my friend Nikki, who's also got a channel, which is the top 3 YouTube channel, top 3. I'll share a link to her channel because it's really good, and she's getting it with more attention. Her subs are going up, which is really cool. But how amazing is this? This is handmade by her. So there we go. Okay, so that's it. As I've said in the previous video, there's a few bits to come for a couple more wrap-ups, but nearly there. And we're going to start looking at 2023. Loads to read, loads to look forward to doing on the channel, a couple of live streams I know are going to happen. But thanks, as always, for supporting the channel. I hope you have a fantastic 2023. And thanks for watching. Bye.